Good morning, wonderful listeners. You've tuned into Post Session Podcast, a podcast filled with the stoke of a surf session and the wise guidance of an ocean voyager. Your water-loving hosts are ready to share this infectious state of mind while encouraging and inspiring you for your next adventure. Welcome, everybody, to Post Session Podcast.
Hi.
Hey, Laurel.
Hey, Ash.
Here we are today staring straight at each other, which is super awkward. We're going to talk about, since we don't have a guest today, we're going to talk about the right gear for the elements. It's getting colder around here. We're going to talk about the right kind of gear for surfing in the cold, diving in the cold. I want to talk a little bit about running in the cold just because that's what I'm doing right now. And we'll keep going.
That sounds great.
Let's start first
Okay.
with the post-session notes.
Okay. Well, yesterday I was in the water and I'm wearing my Cassia spring suit that's kind of a Mary Jane. So it's like little overalls kind of.
She should sponsor us.
She should totally sponsor us. And then, but it wasn't enough because I was like, oh, it might be a little chilly. So then I wore my 2 mil top over top. Now she does have a little zip up top, but I don't have it. I can't afford it. And I still had a top. But anyway.
She should send that to you.
Yes. Anyway, so for my post-session note, I just wanted to say yesterday I had an opportunity to surf with kind of my group. The only one missing was Grace because she's super pregnant. But we hadn't all surfed together in a long time at the South End, which it's not crowded right now because it's moving into the past fall and into winter, even though the water is still
Nice.
68. Yeah. A little chilly.
Marginal.
A little chilly. But the sun was out, and I just wanted to say from my post-session note, what a joy it is and how much better surfing is with your friends, with your surf family. Because, I mean, I enjoy surfing by myself and surfing, especially if there's a really good wave, then you're kind of like, okay, you guys over there, hey, how's everybody? Let me get over here so I can get my wave. But when it's small and just beautiful out, sunny on a nice day, and you haven't seen everybody in a while, I don't know. I feel like my surfing enjoyment is off the charts. So I just want to say what a gift it is to have the friends that I surf with.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well,
My note. What about you, Ash?
that's sweet.
Tell
I'm gonna
us
take
about
a
yours.
left-hand turn here.
Kumbaya's out.
Yep. I'm going to say diving is one of those things you cannot do alone. But one of the things I like about it is that when you are breathing up and gearing up mentally for the dive, and then absolutely when you submerge and start your dive, you are alone. And I love it.
Loner.
The quiet, the solitude, the flow state, the singular focus. Those are the things I like about it. I don't have to share it with anybody. I don't have to be social. I don't have to, be like, oh my gosh, did you see that one? I just get to do the dive. That's the same thing I like about running. I mean, when you do a long distance, it's kind of nice to run at least a part of it with some people to distract you.
Yeah.
But boy, do I just like being by myself with Junebug.
And
She's
nature.
my training buddy, Your
dog.
But it's just the dog and me, and it's good.
I think that, you always seems like running in a place that has a little natural beauty to it, like a trail.
Yeah, or even my home course. It's pretty
Yeah.
remote.
Yeah.
It's
Castle
not very
Hayne.
populated. Yeah. Yeah, not a ton of cars. And when there is one, they're going really fast by you. So anyway, lots of horse farms.
Okay.
So I like being alone. That's my post-session note. Loneliness.
Well, I will say I was out at the North End about a week or so ago, and it was a big day. And actually, I did go out. Everybody was either already out or way behind me. So I get to the inlet. Nobody's around. I have to go potty. I'm wearing Cassia's spring suit again.
You mean you got to go doo-doo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I basically have to get naked because I have the jumpsuit on.
Yeah.
So I had to dig a little hole in the dune And
Ew, go in the water.
no, I wouldn't
Don't
go in
on
the water.
beach. You're like a filthy animal. You went on the
Yeah,
beach.
filthy animal.
You go in the water. It's called an aqueduce. It floats away. Everything's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never
I
done
know.
either.
That's what you have to do.
Well, I had to go.
You've
Anyway.
got your board. You hold onto your board and you just relax.
I don't think not in a wetsuit.
I do it all the time.
Yours has like a bottom panel that comes off your butt, right?
Yeah, because they do make the Farmer John kind, but
Yeah.
people cut them off so that they don't have that problem.
Okay. Well, anyway, I had that problem. Anyway, I paddled out finally after I got finally in the water. But as soon as I got out, I'm looking to the left of me and there's like water swirling a little bit. I'm like, what's going on over there? 10 feet from me. Big old dolphin. There was like 4 or 5 dolphins just playing, jumping out of the water. You're
Oh, cool.
yeah, you're
That was
just
on the north end?
yeah, the inlet
Cool.
by Shell Island. So that was a extra special thing about that session, minus the deuce in the sand.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I just wanted to confess that. So if you're walking at the north end,
Yeah. How deep did you dig that hole? That's gross.
how deep does it need
You know
to be?
what? Very.
Oh,
It's sand.
well. But then what's going to happen to it if it wasn't deep enough?
Well, because the wind comes and blows it up. And then you've got human feces all over the beach. And that's
It wasn't that much. It won't be all over the beach. Okay, let's move on to if that maybe was the injustice of the week. Should we just move
that's
on
the injustice
to dive
right there.
deeper?
Wait, what was our injustice going to be anyway?
It was going
I
to
don't
be about an
remember.
accessory building.
Oh, yeah. We can shelve that for later.
Yeah,
if
we'll
you
do that
want.
another
Okay.
time.
Well, then we'll just dive deeper.
Speaking of gear,
Speaking
we need a
of-
fanny latch.
Well, or just don't wear the Farmer John.
Yeah.
But I'm going to let you start talking about what you like to wear cold weather surfing. Sorry, I hit the mic.
I don't like cold weather surfing, which is why I go to Puerto Rico in the winter.
So we should just not do this episode?
Yeah, we're just canning it. No, okay. So right
Sorry,
now
Jennifer.
I'm wearing the Cassia spring suit.
Mm-hmm.
Today I just wore that because I didn't need anything else because it was already warm.
Mm-hmm.
But I can put on my 2 mil top because it's the whole thing's a 2 mil. Then the next step up is a 3-2. Now I only wear a 3-2. I don't get the 4-3 anymore because I think the technology is so advanced that a 3-2 is enough here. And I'm not having that many days in. So my last wetsuit that I bought was a Buell.
Mm-hmm.
And although I'd say it has not held up like I hoped it would, and I plan to get a different one next, but I did like it because it was polka dot up top. And as you take it off, it had a Joan of Arc quote.
That's important.
And then as you pulled it all the way down, once you got past the knee pads, there's smiley faces on the knee pads. And everything is situated so that as it goes down, you're like, oh, it's readable. So they put a lot of thought into the inside that nobody else sees but you, but it brings you joy.
Right. And if only it lasted longer.
If only it lasted longer.
Well,
I'm
this
tough on the knees.
this 3-2 3-2
What was that Barbie thing? Beach Ken?
anyway, the 3-2 is going to get you through January diving.
Well, I'm diving. I'm not diving.
I'm sorry, I'm flustered. January surfing. You're going to surf in January?
Well, look, it's November right now.
Yeah, but it's still warm.
I know. So it's not going to get that cold till January.
So I'm saying that
I'm
in
leaving
January,
the second week of January.
Listen, I'm talking about whoever is going to surf
For the winter.
for the winter.
Well, I'll say this.
Do people surf in January and February around
Yes.
here?
And if you have a little extra weight on you, like me,
It's called bioprene.
yes. So I think you're good with a new 3-2. If you are skinny like Kristen and you don't have any fat on
She
you,
didn't say me. Anyway, yeah. Skinny like Kristen.
yeah, Kristen needs a 4-3 in the winter. And then, of course, now, even if I have a 3-2, I've got booties on if I can get away without gloves, I will, but that's like the last thing you want to put on. I'll put on a beanie or a hood. Actually,
That's important.
The best hood is I have one it's a like a rash guard tank top with a collar and a hood, which goes easily underneath your suit without adding any extra bulk. But then it has a nice flap that keeps the water from going into your suit like it normally would.
Yeah.
And you have the hood on. And then you can take the hood off if you get warm. It's not attached to your wetsuit because you don't want a wetsuit with a hood attached. Because you don't always want the hood on a nice sunny day. You don't want the hood on, and then you don't want it hanging off the back where water will go in. Mm-hmm. So...
well, it's opposite for diving. We want hoods attached all the time.
Ew.
Yeah, because even in warm water, we wear hoods.
Really?
But around here, by the time winter comes, if you're inshore, you're going to need a 5 mil open cell wetsuit. Absolutely.
Oh.
And if you're offshore or somewhere like closer to the stream where it's warmer, you might pull off something a little thinner, but being submerged and still in the water, you get very, very cold.
Okay. Yep. Sure.
So you have to have the hood on. You have to have the suit with the beaver tail and the whole thing. And then we have tricks that we use to stay warm in our suits in the winter.
Peeing.
So what's that?
Peeing.
Yeah, you could do that. You have to, but it's gross. But when you're putting the suit on, you know, you have your bathing suit on and you're freezing cold. You know, let's say it's January, you're freezing cold on the boat. You can take a hot thermos of water and pour that in your suit. And then when you put it on, you're like, yeah. There's some warm water that comes out of the engine.
Mm-hmm. Ew.
You can use that water, but it's not quite warm enough. You can, Ren and I, when we used to be just eaten up with diving. We'd go all the time through the cold months. And we would put our suits on before we left the house.
Sure.
Which the thought of it right now disgusts me. But
yeah.
That's what we would do because it's so cold. And then we'd wear coveralls on top of that. Like big, thick Carhartt, one piece coveralls, zip all the way up. And that worked. But, nowadays I'm kind of weak. I don't enjoy going in that cold water.
Mm-mm.
However, cold plunging is a thing.
Yeah, but you wouldn't wear the suit for the cold plunge.
Well, no, but I'm just saying being immersed in cold water is sort of like the thing these days. So I think there's probably some pretty serious benefits to getting in the cold water.
Are you cold plunging?
No.
Okay.
I'm doing the opposite of cold plunge. I get the bath as hot as I possibly can. As a matter of fact, I got it so hot the other day, I thought, I wonder how hot it has to be before my skin starts peeling.
Wow. Yeah. That was your bath?
Yeah.
What? Were you cold?
Well, you know what? It was on my sick day. I was having chills.
Okay, yeah.
Boy, it felt good, though.
Did you do a salt water bath?
I'm an anti-cold plunger. Yeah, I just go as hot as I can.
Did you put sea salt? Epsom salt in there?
No.
You just,
should I have done that?
Wasted it. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Epsom salt pull out all the sickness, all the impurities.
Oh, no, I just barfed it out. Yeah.
Well, I will say, like, my next suit, I want to try Mama La Surf suits.
Oh, yeah.
It's a women's only, or women created, just like Cassia's suits, but she did just, you go in a surf shop and you see rows and rows of guys' wetsuits, but you only see a few women's wetsuits, even the ones Billabong that make the women's, they might have one style or not necessarily made to fit women's bodies, and especially the different women's bodies. So she's really made an effort to create them so that there's an assortment and that they'll last. And I want to try hers next.
Well, I think it's hard for local surf shops to carry an assortment of women's suits because the bulk of their sales is probably
dudes.
Yep, dudes.
But you know what? Times they are a-changing.
They are changing. The dive industry is the same way. It's very male dominated, and you go to the local shop and there's 3 suits. Yeah. And they're all exactly the same.
Well, and when I was down in the Outer Banks selling my book, Foam, There is a women's surf shop. I mean, they also serve men, but mainly it's women. And they do women's lessons, and it's very female focused. So,
It's like Barbie land.
but better, because Barbie don't surf. Or does
There's
she?
Surf Barbie. There's got to be Surf
I
Barbie.
don't, I
right?
don't think so.
Yeah.
Anybody- What?
I like how I looked at Joshua
I
as he
know.
would know.
Is
Isn't
he
there a
gonna
Surf
know?
Barbie, Joshua? You should know.
That's our producer, Joshua.
Yeah,
Yay.
you were.
But
A
I also
girl
wanted
once.
to make a point for the surfers that are listening. Booties are not easy to fit. I have gotten more than one pair of booty that, first of all, the guy said, "Oh, you want it really tight," and it was too tight. And I didn't know it because I was listening to this dude tell me about his booties. So, and then the next pair of booties also were too tight. There are some booties that, because they were made for men, and then they just give you the men's size for the women.
Yeah, they just size down the
And
men's
they-
size. And, because otherwise it's too wide.
It's too wide,
If
or
they-
it's just it's not made for women.
If you don't get it sized below you,
I feel like we should go into business and do a women's booty. Do y'all wear booties in diving?
yeah, we do. But I mean,
A narrow booty for
I
women.
don't want to.
Okay. What can we call it though?
Narrow booty.
I like it.
That's what we should call it. Yeah, I mean, you could just wear sneaker socks, I guess. But yeah, for cold weather protection, we do booties too. And footwear is an issue for women.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the fins and everything. There are not women's sizes or women's fit. So my for instance, I'm a size 10.
Mm-hmm.
Very womanly, size 10 foot. But I wear like a size 7 in my foot pocket because I want it to be tight, so there's no wiggle room. But to make it, to get it so it's not so wide, because I don't have a Barney Rubble foot, I've got like a feminine foot.
Wilma.
Yeah, more Wilma size foot. I got to size it way
Wilma
down.
booties.
Way down.
Okay. You wanted to talk about, before we wrap this little element session up, you want to talk about running.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about what you're running in? Does it change with the seasons?
Well, yeah. I
layers.
mean, your shoes don't change. Your socks might change. My
But once you get running, aren't you hot in whatever
you
weather
warm
it
up
is?
quick, but running in pants sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You always see pictures of people running in their tight pants. It's like, oh, look at those running pants. They're so great. Nobody runs in pants. Pants are horrible. They always pull down. If you want pants to run in that don't pull down, you have to get them very tight,
Yeah.
which they look pretty good when they're real tight.
So
Like
you always
compression
run.
pants.
Do you always run in shorts then?
No, sometimes it's way too cold for shorts.
Even once you get going, because Dawn wears shorts year round
Yeah,
for
well,
work.
like I said, I'm pretty weak. But there is a brand. I wish I would have
Thought about this episode.
Yeah, I wish I would have written some more notes for this episode and actually thought about it. There is a brand that fits perfect. They're 3/4 pants.
Oh.
So you don't have quite as much pulling.
Yeah.
And they make them very tight. So once you pull them up, boom, boom.
Well,
boom,
you'll put a
they're in
link
place.
in there. You don't have any?
I have one pair.
Okay.
I
Are they
need more.
expensive?
Oh, well, they were a gift. I don't know. I guess I should look at it.
What
up.
running shoe do you wear?
Right now, I tried a different shoe. I tried Mizuno Wave Rider. Oh, how ironic.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Wave Rider. Because I just wanted to try something different. It's very comfortable. I don't like it as much as my last shoe, but now I know. So
Enjoyment level from 0 to 10 running in the warmer months versus the winter months.
I would say, first off, running right now is perfect.
Sure.
you start out chilly.
Yeah, but
you
then
you start out where you're like, oh, and then as soon as you get going, you're dressed perfectly in shorts and a very, very light long sleeve shirt. Right now is perfect. You're fastest, you're happiest. When it gets cold, you have to wear layers and you get heavy and it takes a while for your breath to warm up. So you're breathing cold. It sucks. But running hot really sucks too. But I'm used to it.
Okay, so
you run through the summer, you're used to it. Right now's the time.
The winter though is what?
Winter's tough.
Okay. Tougher than the summer. Tougher than August. February.
You know what? I would say winter is tougher, and a lot of runners would not agree with me. They would say no, summer, because you're slower and it's hot out, but it's just harder to get going in the winter. It's harder to get out of bed.
It's hard to get out of the house.
Yeah. That's right. In the summer, at least you can get out. You'll be sweating, but you get out. You go early.
Right. Yes. Or late. Go late.
I don't like that, though, because then my tummy's all full.
You could still go before dinner. Well,
you can.
It's still hot. So I would say for surfing, the enjoyment level is great right now, all the way back through April. But then this coming up from January, February, and March is tough.
It's tough.
Really tough.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 0 to 10, it's a 3.
I would say.
And some people love it. Some people wouldn't even call this cold.
Some people.
Oh my God.
Don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, my advice to everybody is just hibernate for a few months.
Or travel south.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
migration. You should do that instead. That's
absolutely.
better than hibernation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah, that's it, right?
no God waters for you?
Oh, wait, let's see what we have here. You wrote, but you didn't cite it. You didn't.
I didn't, but we can cite it in the notes.
Okay.
It's from the Bible.
Okay. All hard work brings a profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. You're right. That is for our last episode, isn't it?
It was.
Oh.
But I think we can bring it into the Elements podcast because it takes a little more effort
to get after it.
To get after it when it's colder. And even in what it's the going, right? It's the getting ready. It's the I'm going to go surf. I'm going to go right. I'm going to go dive. I'm going to
It's the getting started.
Running.
Yeah.
It's the getting going. But once you do, it's not money profit. It's reward just for your body, your mental health, your everything, physical health.
It is hard to get going, but how rewarding is it when you get out of it? Even like a really cold run, you get back and you go, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. I did the hardest thing that I'm going to do today.
Absolutely. And we would encourage each of our listeners, do something hard today.
Every day.
But start one day.
You know, a good way to start
is one day at a
just
time.
by getting out of bed and making your bed first thing in the morning.
I know somebody that takes a cold shower every morning just to do something hard.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Who does that?
I want to say Harriet does that, but I hate to pin her down on that.
Wow.
All right. Well, hey, you guys, thanks for listening. Mm-hmm. Check out Evolve Freediving.
Thank you.
Yeah. Check out their classes. They might have signups ready for next year.
Not yet, but soon.
Soon.
Very soon, yeah.
Visit us at postsessionpodcast.com.
Buy foam.
Yeah, get a copy of foam and gift it to somebody for Christmas.
Christmas gift.
Stocking stuffer. All right. Thanks, you guys. Thank you, Joshua, our new producer.
All right.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.